welcome back to Story Behind the Story. I'm your host, Courtney Rowe, and today joining me is John Walker, who just covered Maryville High School's victory, and this was actually Coach Webb's 100th victory.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about your story and this victory?
Yeah, so actually I very seldomly do a little bit of pre-writing, but I knew that this was obviously going to be a big event, so I made a couple of notes in my Google Doc where I was going to write my game story, and yeah, just had a whole lot of preparation that went into it, knowing that, like I said, it was going to be a big story revolving his 100th win. And I think the crazier thing is that he did it in 108 games.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know, there's only 10 guaranteed games in a Missouri high school football season, and he did it in 7.5 seasons, which is nuts to think about. But yeah, so had a good time covering that, and yeah, it was his 100th win. All the players were happy for him. Yeah, he is a very selfless person, so he pushed away the accolade himself, but everybody around him was pretty happy. So.
I know that he has grown up, like you said, around all of these people, coaching these kids since they were young, growing up with these families, so they're a very tight-knit group of people. So what were his players' thoughts, and what were the thoughts of the families? What did they have to say?
Yeah, so he actually went to Maryville High School, played football at Maryville High School and everything. Obviously went to college, coached at a couple of Division I and smaller colleges, and then in 2012 found himself at the helm of the Spoofhounds. And so here you go, 7 years and 100 wins later, and here he is.
Yeah.
And the players, running back Trey Haushen, or running back Aiden Cullen said, we're happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't have really pictured anything else. They splashed water on him when it was pretty much a sure thing that the game was over with about a minute left. And yeah, Tate Oglesby, senior wide receiver, was talking about, he's with us every day. He demands excellence from us, and it couldn't have been more of an honor to be able to be a part of his 100th win. So.
Do you think that this tight connection that they have is directly influencing their success?
Yeah, and actually, just personal belief, I think you have to have a tight-knit group anytime that you play in a team sport like football, like basketball, anything like that. I personally think that's the only way you're going to have success. But with that being said, I think Webb agrees with myself. In one of the last questions I asked him in our interview post-game, he said, tight-knit teams, teams that care for each other and teams that love each other are teams that make it far in the postseason.
Yes.
So with postseason coming up, like you just said, I think them being tight-knit should play in their favor.
For sure. Do you think, I've noticed a theme from the former coach, as people have mentioned, that as soon as Webb took that coaching position, it completely shifted Maryville's football program.
Yeah.
What do you think is to blame for this?
Chris Holt is now the coach at Lathrop, so I think to shame him or say that, not that you did, but to shame him or say that he was a bad coach or anything, it would be completely asinine, in part because Lathrop is undefeated right now at the time that this is being recorded. But I just don't think that a lot of people philosophically agreed with Chris Holt's way of coaching football. Obviously, that was when I was 12 years old, so I have no clue. But just talking to some different people, I think that's the main issue. And then I think in part because when Webb came back, he was a guy that the community knew that had already established himself as a football coach, and I feel like that really helped. And then obviously a guy that has been relatively successful. I mean, it's hard to not like somebody that comes in and wins 30 straight games and 2 state championships.
For sure. I know each team has their own different chemistry, so yeah.
Right.
What is next for Maryville, though?
They will host, a nice way to put it, but not a nice way to put it, the worst team in their district. They're the number 1 seed, so they'll host 0-7 St. Joe Christian this week if they are able to pick up a win. I say that satirically. Then they'll advance to the semifinals of their district, and then it's survive and advance from here on out. You lose the game and you're done. They found themselves with a loss in the state semifinals last year, and probably left a sour taste ever since. So
then, what should we expect from you for future stories?
I don't have any feature stories in the future or in the works or anything right now. I think that Webb one was probably the one that I've been eyeing for about a month now. But aside from that, just week in and week out coverage of Spoofhound football as they try and get back on top of the Missouri State High School Athletic Association Class 2 bracket.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for sitting and talking with me, and good luck, Spoofhounds. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.